Hey, how's everybody doing? This is Coach Wood, and I am excited, you guys, to be back for another educational, action packed week of great content, you guys, with the Weekday Huddle with Coach Wood. So, if you are joining us for the very first time, thank you. This is a new segment with Before You Go Pro that we got going, you guys. Just felt the need to serve. Feel the need to lead people in the right direction with all of the craziness going on in football right now. And it's really at all levels, you guys. So we got to talk about it. We got to get in the huddle and we got to have our game plan right. So thank you for joining us. If you're joining us for the very first time, I'm your host, Coach Wood. This is a labor of love for me. We work with athletes across the country, and now we just want to bring some of that education, some of that love and support publicly, you guys. So tap in with us every Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern. I'm going to be here to serve you, so make sure you come check it out. Also, you guys, go down in the description box. We've got some great resources for you football players, you parents, you coaches out there that are going to help you be a cut above anybody else that you're competing with, anybody trying to scam you in this industry. We also got some great NIL advice and education as well. So go down, check out the description box, and make sure you check out those football resources. Also, if you haven't already, I don't know why you haven't, but if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button so that you're notified whenever we publish new content on behalf of Before You Go Pro. And please make sure that you tell your friends, your family, your team members, everybody that you know loves football or that's currently in the industry, you guys. We cover this stuff that pertains to you guys and is really going to be meaningful, especially when you look at how your career unfolds if you're a football player. So, let's get into today's topic, you guys. Once again, we've got a week of great topics lined up for you guys. And today's topic, you guys, is the NCAA calendar, the football calendar. In my opinion, the calendar is the problem. We got a lot of problems when we start talking about college football, but the calendar is the problem. If you solve the calendar, you're going to solve so many problems when it pertains to college football. And there's two things. There's two things that are driving Coach Wood absolutely crazy when it comes to the NCAA calendar. One of them is the timing of the transfer portal. The other one is the timing of the signing days. We have the early signing period in December. We have the regular signing period in February. Those two things have to be tweaked. Those two things are the things that are driving a lot of the craziness in the industry, the coaching changes and the timing of things that you see, guys not playing in bowl games, guys leaving playoff teams. That's all because of the calendar, you guys. So a lot of times we're looking at the athletes, we're looking at the coaches, and we're seeing how they move, and we don't like it. It doesn't make sense. It looks erratic. It's frustrating. You could be, think about it for the athletes. Think about if you're an athlete on one of these teams and you got your team members that are saying they're going in the portal. You got your coach ready to leave. There's a lot going on. But a huge part of it, you guys, is because of the calendar. So when we look at the calendar, you guys, a lot of the coaching changes that took place right there at the end, you saw the LSU, you saw the UCLA, you saw the Florida, all of those coaching changes were athletic directors, programs trying to get a new coach or at least get things in position so that they can do a little bit of recruiting. A little bit of recruiting of those top 5, 4, 3-star kids that are in the high school ranks that want to sign during the early period. So you've got coaching changes right in the midst of playoff runs, league championships, the whole nine, and coaches that had to get fired because these schools were trying to get ready and get in place where they didn't suffer too much during the early signing period, which was in December. So that's why we saw that first wave of craziness when it came to all of the coaching changes. Then we've had some scandals and different things like that that have taken place. And all of these things have taken place after the early signing day. So you've got kids that put pen to paper in high school, junior college, that found out after they put pen to paper that their coach would no longer be there, or that their coach was going through some scandal like at Ohio or Michigan, and they had already put pen to paper and decided where they wanted to go and probably told a bunch of other teams no. Because if these are early signing period kids, then they're probably kids that had multiple options. So I'm telling these teams no, thinking that I know where I want to go and everything is going to be stable and set and everything's going to be just the way it was when I signed, after I signed. And lo and behold, a lot of change has come to some of these schools after these kids have signed. Kyle Whittingham at Utah just said he's hanging it up. You got the coach from Iowa State going to Penn State. All of this stuff is happening after these kids sign. So I am not a believer in people having to do big time business and signing a football scholarship and potential NIL money is big time business. I'm not a believer in big time business where people don't have all of the information. They don't have all of the cards. That's not good business. So, you would hope that in an industry where it's supposed to serve the young people, that you would have adults that are trying to do good business. And whether it's on purpose or not, it's not good business right now. It is not good business for you to sign early 9 times out of 10 in the football industry right now. There are some cases where it does make sense. There's one kid in our program that I'm thinking of, shout out Hannibal Nate, where it makes sense. He's fine to sign early at the University of Arizona. But there's a lot of kids that have signed, and then there's been a huge shift in that pro. Think about Sacramento State. The head coach left there after 6-8 months, and now he's going to Colorado to be an assistant. They had a signing day before he left, you guys. So there has to be some type of rules, some type of timeline changes where that doesn't happen. That's ridiculous that a kid signs and immediately after he signs, the head coach is going to be an assistant coach somewhere. So, there's got to be changes or rules as far as the timeline to protect these kids. I've voiced already that, they should push the early period back. I think we should just have a regular period. Now, I know that there's kids that want to go to school early. That's been a whole phenomenon that's taken place over, kind of the last 6 years, where kids are starting to go early to schools and graduate early. But with the kids being older now and the transfer portal being so prevalent, I think we need to go back to the old way. I think we need to go back to the old way of everybody, like I did, signs in February, and everybody, if you're in high school, you go at the end of high school in the spring. You go in the end of high school in the spring. I think that would solve a lot when it comes to some of the issues with the recruiting calendar. The other thing, you guys, is the transfer portal timing. The transfer portal timing. January 2nd through, I believe, the 16th. It's like a 2-week window right there where athletes can get plucked out of the transfer portal. The thing about that, now they have it at that time because they want to give the teams that are in bowl games and playoffs a chance to figure out their roster, a chance for them to actually grab a couple of kids out the portal as well. The thing that's crazy about that, so on one hand, that makes sense because you don't want an unfair advantage. These teams are on the sideline. They didn't get to go to a bowl game. They're not going to the playoffs, so they can go sit in front of your house and recruit. But these teams that are at a bowl site or a playoff site can't do anything. That makes logical sense to me. I understand that. But how about this part? January 2nd to the 16th. That is a very fast window for a kid to decide where he wants to go, and also a fast window for a college to vet the right kids. And as we have seen, a lot of these schools, my alma mater being one of them, are picking the wrong kids. They're picking and paying the wrong kids. And part of that is because they don't have a true vetting process for these kids that are coming out the portal. It's Russian roulette with these kids, especially as you move down the ranks to the top kids. Maybe some of these Carson Beck type kids, they're going to be okay because they've performed at a high level at another school. They've made big money at another school. But then as you start moving down the ranks of some of these kids in the portal, it's Russian roulette because they cannot vet that. They don't have time to vet these kids. Also, another thing that's rampant is the poaching. The poaching where schools are calling kids, or they're getting people that they know are connected to the kids to reach out to the kids on other teams and say, hey, if you come to our school, we got a bag waiting for you. So there is blatant poaching right now in the industry, and everybody knows it, and 90% of these schools are doing it. But why are they doing it? They're doing it because they don't have time. They don't have time once January 2nd opens to figure out which kids they want, vet the kids, offer them, and get them to close with their school. They don't have time for that. And the kids don't have time to really figure out where they want to go. So what they're doing is they're listening to who's interested in them, some of them before they even jump in the portal. But the other ones, as soon as they tell their school that they're going in the portal, they're already willing and dealing with schools. You have to. You have to. The ones that are going to get out of the portal, because it's going to be a lot of them that don't. The ones that get out of the portal are kids that are already doing deals. They're already talking. They already have someone negotiating for them. So, you guys, this is the only reason this is happening is because the calendar is jacked up. So, the schools are actively trying to figure out already who they're going to take in the portal. They can't publicize it. You can see a kid going in to the portal. Hey, this kid's leaving North Carolina. This kid's leaving Colorado. This kid's leaving San Diego State to go in the portal. You can see them publicize who's going into the portal, but you can't see all the action behind the scenes of what's going to happen and who's going to come out quick. As soon as the portal opens January 2nd, 2026 at 12 a.m., there's going to be kids that are already telling you where they're going. How did that happen? It's because they're already doing the deals, you guys. And that's supposed to be illegal. That's supposed to be against the rules. So, we've got two different situations because of the same thing, because of the calendar. We got a situation where players don't want to play in bowl games or playoff games, and they're being poached. Then we got another situation where kids are signing early and they don't even know who's going to be on their team. When I signed in February back in the late 90s, I knew who was going to be on the team when I got to training camp, for the most part. For the most part, I knew who was going to be on the team when I got to training camp. Think about a kid who signed in December. You might not even know who your coach is going to be, let alone who the rest of your teammates are going to be, because you're going to see portal guys coming in January, and you're going to see another regular signing period in February. So you have no idea really who's going to be on your team, or maybe even who's coaching you. So you guys, we are in crazy times in college football. Many of you guys are already in college football, or you're looking to get into college football. And a huge, huge thing that is just killing the sport right now is the calendar. They got to change the calendar. So let us know your thoughts on the NCAA calendar. Is it good? They did away with the spring portal. Should they bring the spring portal back? Do you think that, hey, you got to realize how to navigate the chaos. You got to realize how to navigate the new world of college football. Is that your feeling on it? Or are you feeling like the calendar is off and that there needs to be some executive management coming in to help out. How do you feel about it? Let me know. Obviously, we'll be continuing to talk about this topic amongst other things that pertain to you guys. We're dealing with athletes right now that are either in the portal or wondering if they should go in the portal. We've got athletes that signed in the early signing period, but we tried to limit that. And the kids who did sign during the early signing period signed with good schools that are pretty stable. But we tried to limit that. We tell many of our athletes to just be patient. Let the dominoes fall, because you're going to have a lot of opportunity that maybe you didn't even see coming your way if you just let some of this dust clear. All right. So you guys, got to figure it out, but let us know what you think of the NCAA calendar. Also, you guys, make sure that you hit that subscribe button so that you are notified whenever we drop a new episode of the Weekday Huddle with Coach. We got some great content coming your way. And then go down to the description box. Get in that description box and make sure that you check out all those resources that have been curated just for you. So have a great day. Once again, Coach Wood, and we'll see you at the top.